Take a look at this word. In standard conversational Sanskrit, upagopam translates simply to near the cowherd. Relying on a simple English translation obscures the underlying mechanics. This word functions as the executed output of a rigid mathematical formula. Upagopam is an avyayibhava samasa, an indeclinable compound. When formed, the resulting word becomes an immutable constant, usually dominated by the meaning of its first element. It is also a nitya samasa, meaning it is an obligatory compound. It cannot be broken down or explained using conversational syntax. Its existence relies on a specific technical process. This presents a grammatical paradox. Sanskrit is a heavily inflected language, driven by suffixes. To create an entirely uninflected, frozen word, the system must navigate its own operational rules. We can observe this by running the precise 15-step algorithmic pipeline detailed in Panini's Ashtadhyayi. By processing upagopam from raw data to final output, we can see Sanskrit morphology functioning as compiled source code. Comprehending Panini requires treating these grammatical rules as deterministic, executable functions. The compilation pipeline processes our target word through 4 distinct phases, totaling 15 individual operations. In steps 1 and 2, the system initializes. It does not ingest finished words. Instead, it requires the baseline data, raw nominal stems, and specific case affixes. This raw input state is called the alaukika vigraha, the technical dissolution of the word. Here is the pipeline interface loading the raw inputs for our target: the base noun gopa, the 6th case genitive suffix ngas, and the indeclinable upa. Step 3 initiates a system check for any required terminal affixes, known as a samasanta. While certain inputs like the word sharada trigger this rule, our sequence does not. The data passes to the next phase unmodified. By reducing the word to its alaukika vigraha, Panini strips away the ambiguity of spoken language, creating standardized variables ready for automated processing. Phase 2 pulls these variables into the internal processing engine, where the original structure is dismantled. Step 4 triggers a rule that wraps the entire sequence of components into a newly designated nominal stem, called a pratipadika. This diagram illustrates Step 5. Because the components are now unified under one stem, the internal case suffix gas becomes redundant. It is systematically elided, an operation Panini calls look. The elision leaves only the raw base elements, gopa and upa. Now the system must dictate syntax. In step 6, the algorithm scans for the subordinate element, termed the upasarjana. Based on the operative sutra for this specific compound, upa is identified as the upasarjana. Step 7 applies the rule of purvanipasa. The upasarjana is forcibly shifted to the first position, reordering the blocks to upa, then gopa. Step 8 performs a check for conditional substitutions. None apply here, so the step resolves without action. Panini treats word order as an automated consequence of structural hierarchy. Syntax is forced by the algorithm. The newly ordered sequence upagopa now enters the formatting block of the pipeline. Step 9 executes a blanket rule for all avyabhava compounds. The system assigns it the neuter gender, overriding the original gender of the base words. In step 10, the algorithm mandates that the final vowel must be shortened. This triggers a logic collision, known as Tulyabala Virodha, where 2 separate rules activate simultaneously. Sutra 1.2.47 demands a shortened vowel because the word is neuter. Simultaneously, Sutra 1.2.48 attempts to activate, which shortens vowels ending in a feminine suffix. The algorithm resolves the conflict. Because the final a in gopa is a masculine base vowel and not a feminine suffix, the secondary condition returns false and is rejected. The neuter rule executes. The final long a is truncated, formatting the sequence to upagopa. The Ashtadhyayi anticipates its own internal collisions, using an embedded logic gate system to prioritize rules without halting the compilation. In the final phase, the formatted stem upagopa is readied for output. Look at steps 11 and 12. The system flags the word as an indeclinable, an avyaya. It assigns a final nominative suffix su, then immediately attempts to delete it according to the rule for indeclinables. If this were a word ending in I or u, the suffix would delete and the compilation would end. But step 13 is an override. Because upagopa ends in a short a, it triggers a block against the deletion protocol. The suffix remains. Instead of deletion, the algorithm executes an alternative command, forcing the s suffix to mutate into the ending Step 14 triggers a phonetic merger, preventing the short of upagopa from clashing with the vowel in This completes step 15, yielding the final output string, upagopam. Sanskrit does not create indeclinable words by bypassing grammar. It creates them by forcing data through the suffix machinery and executing specific algorithmic overrides. Moving from raw variables to a spoken word required 15 uncompromising sequential operations. These pathways are dynamic. Inputting the variables avi and kumari causes the algorithm to map a distinct route, automatically branching at step 13 to skip the mutation phase. This methodology treats language as a system of engineering, rather than a collection of vocabulary. Every elision and vowel shift is accounted for by a rigorous zero-exception formula. By treating linguistic morphology as a series of conditional formatting rules, ancient Indian grammarians formalized language as a sequence of discrete, logical operations. The depth of Sanskrit extends beyond its literary heritage. It is found in the mathematical precision of its underlying architecture.